Hey you guys, it's Darvina at Darvina Plays with Scissors again, and today's projects we are using the beautiful autumn bundle, which includes the stamp set plus these 3 punches. I'm also using the Gilded Autumn Design Series paper. These are a few of the pieces we're using with our projects today. And then for this card, I am also using the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. So let's go ahead and move these over so we can get started. I want to preface this project with the fact that Stampin' Up! Sells note cards, individual note cards, and envelopes separately. And I think you get like 20 per packet. It's a really good deal. But basically the note card and the envelope are already created for you, and then you just dress them up however you want. The reason I'm calling this out is because I don't have any, but what I did do is I just used the same measurements with regular cardstock that would be used with the note card. So this this base card is actually cut out to 5 by 7, and then I scored it in the middle of 3.5 inches to make this size card. So that's why this is going to look a little smaller. And the reason this is happening, or the reason I did this, is so that it could also fit into our paper pumpkin, miniature paper pumpkin box. I believe an A2 might fit as well, but these are they just fit a lot nicer. So anyway, I did want to call that out because if you don't, either or, if you don't want to mess with cutting it out and scoring it, you can buy them already cut out from Stampin' Up! Or you can just use your own cardstock and create your own, but with those measurements that match theirs. So let's go ahead and get started on this card. I went ahead and cut out the pieces. Like I said, this base card is 5 by 7, and then I'm going to score it in the middle at 3.5 inches. I'm moving all my stuff off of my scoring tool. I got this handy dandy scoring tool that I absolutely love. So I'm going to score it, like I said, right in the middle at 3.5 inches right here. And now I can just fold it right in half and then use my bone folder to crisp up the crease. So now we have our base card right here. So then this, I don't know the measurements off the top of my head. Again, it's in the PDF on my blog, so don't worry, you will have access to see the measurements. But I want to go ahead and emboss this first. Let me move that aside. So let's get to embossing. So I don't know if you've remembered from my other classes, there are 2 different types of embossing folders that Stampin' Up! Has. And one of them is called a 3D embossing folder, and that's what we're using today. And you'll notice on the bottom of plate 1, it explains that when you're using a 3D embossing folder, you only need the number 1 plate, and then you put the folder in there with your cardstock, and then you sandwich it with the number 4 plate. So that is what we are going to do. And then also I want to call out that this embossing folder, you'll notice that the top is pretty clear, and then the trees, you see the tree line. So I want to line that tree line up with my card so that we are seeing the tree line and not just the bottom of the trees, if that makes sense. So I think I want that tall one to be closer to the top right here. That's a little too much. There we go. That looks good. That's perfect. Okay, so we'll sandwich it in between and then run it through. And there is our front panel. So here we have our card, and we will put that on the front. But before we do, I do want to stop. I want to pop it up. I want my dimensionals. Where are they? Right here. So yeah, I flipped it over, and then I'm just going to put a dimensional on either corner. Just like that. And then take the little tabs off. And then now we just want to give ourselves about 1/4 of an inch border all the way around. Like so. Yeah. There we go. Okay. So now next, I went ahead and cut these out. And the way I did that was I came over here to the design series paper. And actually, where is it? It was right there. Oh well. I came over to the design series paper, and this piece right here, this big orange piece, on the back of it has the colored in leaves and acorn. So I just took the, gosh, I wish I knew if this was oak or maple. Anyway, I took this leaf and I just lined it up. I unlocked it, and then I flip it over, and let me find one that's we have access to. And then I just lined it up. That one's not really that well. Here we go. I just lined it up like that, and then I cut it out. I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to waste this paper, because honestly I love it. And I'd already, you know, I just cut around the piece, giving myself enough room so that I could hold it while it's in the punch. And then I just punched it out. So it was very easy. I didn't have to worry about stamping or coloring. I just punched it out of the paper. So we are going to go ahead and stamp our sentiment. So here it's "Have a beautiful day," just like that. And let me get my block. And then I'll put it this way. And I have lines on my block, which I find very handy when I am manually adding a stamp like this. Otherwise, oh, that's a little crooked. Otherwise, I would probably just let it fall on the desk, and then try to pick it up like this, because this is kind of straight. So I'm lining it up on my line on my stamp block that I'm having a problem with again. Okay, that looks good. All right, so now I'm just gonna take my Early Espresso ink and stamp it right about here. There we go. So let me go ahead and clean this off so it doesn't dry. this away. So now what we're going to do is, I want to line this up probably about there, maybe. So I'm going to cut off this little bit. I want to have room for the acorn and the leaf and the ribbon, but I don't necessarily want the banner to be all the way across my card. So now I'm just going to rip it to give it that, you know, pretty organic look to it. And then we're just going to attach it right there. Okay, my tweezers. And I want to do it towards the bottom of the card. Don't want it in the middle. So there we go. Now that we've got that, let's go ahead and attach our acorn and leaf. And let's do the acorn right here. Or I mean the leaf, sorry. That's not the acorn. And then we put our acorn right about here. And then now we just want to create a little bow with our braided linen trim. Like this. Okay, that's a little too big. So there we go. And then we're going to use our glue dot again, just pulling the pieces down. Use another glue dot, and I'm just pressing stuff onto the glue dot, and then I pop it right off. It just pops right off. And then there you go. So we have a beautiful, simple little card that just says, have a beautiful day. I think that's some gratitude right there. I mean, there's no, you don't need an occasion, you don't need a reason. You're just like, hey, have a beautiful day. Make someone smile. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you enjoyed doing it for yourself. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks.